Hey, if you're watching this, this is the extended and uncut version, so thank you. Hey, welcome back. My name is Alex. I'm a freelance videographer and filmmaker, and today we are finally taking a look at ATEEZ's Don't Stop. I wasn't sure if I was able to look at this because it was a paid for thing. I wasn't sure if I was able to react to this or not because they released it as a I wasn't sure if I was able to react to this or not because they released it as a paid video. I wasn't sure if I was able to react to this or not because they released it as a paid video release. I wasn't sure if I was able to react to this or not because this was a paid video release, but here it is on YouTube, so hopefully we're good. As always, I read the lyrics, but I did not listen to the song quite yet. I also don't think I could download that app even if I wanted to. But I'm excited. I saw the trailer for this and the trailer looks so good. Like, yes, this is the bread and butter. This is the stuff that I like. Like, look at how cinematic and how beautiful it already looks. Oh, there's a lot going on here. I mean, not really, but there is. This looks different than a lot of the other music videos. This looks different than a traditional music video. They are aiming to have this be a cinematic masterpiece. The very first way that we can see that is by the aspect ratio. Normal music videos, for the most part, will use a 16:9 aspect ratio. That's the same aspect ratio that most devices use. That's what pretty much everybody on YouTube uploads in. Aside from me, my videos are in a 1:2 aspect ratio. Fun fact. Aside from me, I use the Netflix ratio, which is a 1:2, right? Yeah, it is. Aside from me, I use a 2:1 aspect ratio just because I think it looks a little bit better and it gives my videos a little bit different of a look. They are, of course, going by it's 2.33:1. Is that what it is? 2.35 to 1. Yeah. This video has these heavy black bars. This video is filmed in a 2.35 to 1 aspect ratio, which is the same thing, which is this widescreen, which we see in movies all the time. So a good rule of thumb is that if you see music videos with these real heavy black bars on the top and bottom like this, they are trying to be cinematic. That was long. But even like the colors, like there's still the complementary colors. You can actually see it in the headlights too. The warm and cool. We got warm and cool. We got orange and blue. Like the color grading, everything is nice and moody. This is what I love. The dust. It's not something, I don't know if they necessarily added it because they're in the dirt. The dirt's gonna create dust, but it looks so good. Okay, that was my rant. Oh, how could I? This video is gonna be really hard to get through because it looks so good. Look at that. Look at how beautiful this light is hitting them. They're wearing these leather jackets, and leather just reflects the light so beautifully. This shot has so many colors too. It primarily has this like blue, tealish, greenish kind of color to all of the highlights. It primarily has this like bluish color grade, but then we see the purple, we see the yellow, we see the red. I like how grungy, like the windows are dirty. Yes. Ooh, that was a cool shot. This is so beautiful. I'm in love already. Oh my God. For whatever reason, like that slow motion is very cinematic too. But this shot is beautiful. Then on Do Not Disturb. I have it's so easy for me to just get sidetracked, and that's like the hardest thing about working is like editing. I don't necessarily like editing. That's why like my edits are so basic. I don't really like editing. So if I have my phone on, I see a notification, then I'll go and I'll read it, and then that brings me to that app, and then I go into another app, and all of a sudden I'm 30 minutes in and I didn't do anything. So I really need to just put this all the way over there, Do Not Disturb, and focus. I kind of wish that the framing was adjusted just a little bit. This line right here, I think it would have looked a lot better if that was directly in the center, because we see all of the shadows on these pillars on the left-hand side, and then all of the light on the pillars on the right-hand side. I don't think that they're going for like this contrast based off of the lyrics. I don't think that they're going for like that heavy, like good, bad contrast based off of the lyrics, but I think it would have enhanced the shot just a little bit. The piano has these beautiful reflections. What made me stop is just like the camera angle. It's not straight on, and you're able to see you consider that a shadow? I don't know. And you're able to see like the light shadow on the wall. It just looks good. It looks good. I'm gonna be stopping a lot, like that. This is the thumbnail shot. Oh no, that's the thumbnail shot. Yes. Oh! What blew up? Didn't they just drop him in the middle of nowhere? What is blowing up? Is that a... Oh. I get it. He's facing away from the car as it's driving away. So the car that threw him out, that's what's blowing up. That took me a second. Also, where is this lighting supposed to be coming from? That's one thing in like cinematic stuff, like movies, we usually have motivated lighting, which means that you typically see a light source, and that light source is theoretically supposed to be hitting you. So if they were on a if he was on a normal street, this light could be from like a street light. That would make sense, especially with like the orange. That would make sense, especially with that light being orange. But he's like on a mountain or something. Whatever, not important. I like that they went for more of I like that the lighting is as dramatic as the video. Again, there's that contrasting colors. This hair light, I think it's supposed to come from the moon, because Nighttime moonlighting is usually blue, but we have the blue and then the orange. The orange looks good with his skin tone. It's so beautiful. Yes, please. Ooh. Ooh. Yes. It took me a second. I was like, wait, are those the same people? No, they're not. I'm trying to figure out the story too. So they start off going inside of like that pawn shop or whatever, and I guess two people split off to gamble with this guy. And the other two are looking for something. Maybe? I don't know. Everything has to fit the tone of your video, down to the smallest details. And this is where like your art team, I guess art team. Props. I don't know. Everything has to fit the tone of the video, and that's down to all of the little Everything has to fit the tone of the video, and that's down to all of the smallest details, all of the little props, even to the set design. Like all of these windows are all dirty and grungy, and they look so good, and it fits the vibe. And it fits the vibe of this video, since it started off kind of like and it fits the vibe of the video because I think they're gonna rob him, I think. It's more like dark and gritty. The lighting on him looks so good. Oh. They're using lots and lots of complementary colors. Found a secret door to a safe. Ooh. Oh. That's beautiful. Yes, jeez. Can you really blame me for pausing every 2 seconds? Can you really blame me for this one? You can't just hand me this video looking as good as it does and expect me not to pause every 2 seconds. I really like how they distributed the fire everywhere. Like there's a little bit of fire everywhere. It's not just like, hello? No? Okay. It's not just the typical fire like right behind him. We already saw that. It's just evenly distributed throughout the screen. This looks amazing. He's filling the frame really good too. So they are actually utilizing the aspect ratio. If this was a 16:9 aspect ratio, then he would either have lots of space right here or lots of space right here. But he's taking up that entire frame, so he's able to look a lot more powerful than he otherwise would. The fire looks really good. I just think that all of the smoke, it looks good. Wow. This is kind of a cool touch too, if I can get to it. It almost looks like he's on fire. The fire is definitely like framing him, but I feel like he just blew up this car. It's just that fire, since he just blew up that car, I feel like that fire is more of like a representation of his emotions. Like he's on fire, like he's mad. Ooh. Have you guys seen that amazing scene in Now You See Me? Is that what it's called? Yeah, it is. It's this one.
It's completely unnecessary.
Come on, computer. Now you see me. Yeah. I feel like this is a reference to the movie Now You See Me. In that movie, they have this amazing card scene where the card goes and switches between every one of the members without any of the guards seeing it happen. So I think that's definitely like a reference to that, which makes sense because this is a heist video. Yeah, that was very smooth. Whoa. Ah, yes. Beautiful. Everywhere is using those complementary colors. What is he stealing? They're stealing a ship. Wait, we saw a ship. Where was the ship at? The ship was somewhere. The ship was right there. Are they stealing it from him? Is this a model of the ship that they're stealing? Is that why he smacked the piano down? Because this is after they stole it and he found out? Interesting. But my whole point was this like complementary lighting. This inside of the vault is more of a green instead of a blue, but we're still contrasting that cooler tone to the warm tone out here. Oh. He got hit in the face. Oh, yes. Yes. That looked kind of weird, actually. That fire looked a little weird. I don't think that they actually set this piano on fire. Something about this fire is just looking a little strange. So I don't think they set the piano on fire. It's an amazing shot, but that fire is just like too perfect. It's just a little too perfect. That's not the point. That's the point. This looks amazing. Oh my God, I love the look of fire in these videos. And especially with him like hitting that piano down again, obviously he's angry. Fire represents that anger. So obviously this isn't actual fire. We know this. It's not actual fire. Ooh, look at that. Look at right here. Yeah, you see that? They added a little swooshiness. They added a little bit right there. Look at it again. Oh, that wasn't long enough. That little bit like really helps to sell the fire. That's just like when they're adding in the fire and editing, they're gonna go and add in that little piece right there. But the rest of this is just lighting. It's nice dynamic lighting. It's probably hooked up to this really big like switchboard called a DMX box. And that's able to control all of like your lights. You typically see this in concerts. That's the box controlling all of the lights on stage. So on cue, they're able to like turn on the orange lights. And there's a few of them because these ones turn on first and then these ones right here turn on. So like, it turns on in like a wave, pretty much. And that's how they're able to sell the fire, because if you just add fire to this, it's gonna look terrible because there's no fire on his face. Like the environment doesn't look like it's on fire. You have to sell that. So you do that with the lighting. Another thing they did is they added like the heat. Like you could see the heat right there. Oh, yes. So good, yes. Oh, he got the embers or something hit his face. I like the look of these embers. Last shot is so good. This shot is so good. It's looking, it's kind of tilted too, actually. Why do I always forget the name of this? Oh my God, why do I always forget the name? Brain, work with me. It's oh my God. Dutch, freaking Dutch. It has a little bit of a Dutch angle, which adds to the uneasiness, but we are looking up to him. When you're looking up to somebody, they have power because you have to look up to them. And especially with all of that fire, like this is a very powerful shot. I just love all of the ambers though. Look at them. Just oh. He's being molded by the fire. Oh, there was a key. Okay. Ooh. Okay. It's not a telescope. What is it called? Okay, so what is going on? The lighting on this little hood ornament is kind of cool. How do you break through a wall? We don't see any of the drivers. Huh. I think this is a breakaway wall. Either that or it's CGI, but that would just be a whole lot less fun. I think it's a breakaway wall and like a stunt driver actually drove into this room. I don't think they did it with these people right here. I don't think they did it with these people right here, if they did it that way. They might have, but it seems like a safety thing. But I hope this is a breakaway wall and they actually drove this car through the wall. That'd be cool. That street looks amazing with his little eye patch. So he wasn't in the mountain, he was on the street. What is the story here? How is that guy related to the rest of them? Oh, we got the backlight going on. The light's blooming. Ooh. Yes, look, another. I've been talking about aspect ratio a lot, but Here's another benefit of using this specific aspect ratio. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. There's 8 people on screen right now. That's a lot of people. But they take up a lot of the frame because of the 2.35 aspect ratio. So they look a lot more powerful. The ship was just in the desert or something. Why is the ship on land? I like it. That's probably one of my favorite ATEEZ videos. There's nothing gonna go on, is there? See, that part looks like a normal music video. Lights flashing, the camera's all shaking. That was so beautiful. I love when artists choose to go the more cinematic route and create like a short film, like an actual fleshed out story that just looks so beautiful. There wasn't a single time in this that they actually sang the words of the song. It was literally just a short film that we watched. And I just love that so much. If you want to see the raw, uncut version of this video, if you want to see the raw, uncut version of my reaction to this video, I have that on Patreon. But speaking of such, I do want to give a... If you want to see the raw, uncut version of this... If you want to see the raw, uncut version of my reaction, I do have that on Patreon. I want to give a big thank you to all my Patreon supporters, specifically Charity, Jemmy, Kimberly, Lisa, Lucas, Melissa, Miss Hajo, and Victoria. Dang it. I want to give a big thank you to all my Patreon supporters, specifically Charity, Jemmy, Kimberly, Lisa, Lucas, Melissa, Miss Hajo, and Victoria. If you want to support the channel, I do have shirts in the description below. If you're not already subscribed, if you want me to look at more ATEEZ, go ahead and subscribe. And all right.